your memories of David Stern, first blush, now that he's passed on at the age of 77, David?
Well, it's kind of hard to kind of encompass all of it in, a soundbite. He was a consequential person with regard to a sport which is now the second most popular sport on earth behind soccer. And he had a lot to do with that, both domestically and internationally. People have asked me over the last 24 hours or so, some variation of, well, he had Michael Jordan, he had Magic Johnson, he had Larry Bird. And I grant you all of that. That's exactly true. He was very fortunate that not only those players, but Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan and Patrick Ewing and Isaiah Thomas and John Stockton and Karl Malone, all of those players came into the league basically at the same time. He created the platform upon which all of those players became superstars. He was the guy that created opportunities for people to see those players not only on the court, but also be able to see them off the court, to be able to watch them on videos, to be able to watch them around the world with the rights deals that the NBA made with all of the various countries, to see them in Olympic competition on an enormous stage with the Dream Team. All of those things were because David Stern wanted those things to happen, or at least was able to make them bigger. I ask people, frequently, if Mike Trout was walking down Hollywood and Vine, how much notice would he get?
Right.
He wouldn't get a lot of attention. And that's not a critique of baseball, but it just tells you that, it doesn't happen in every sport with every superstar. And it did in the NBA under David Stern.
So how did he do it? Because, obviously the NFL and its star players, there's the issue in many different ways. Also, face mask just in front. You don't see the face of the player in the same way that obviously you would for Major League Baseball. And there is nothing out there except the player on an NBA court and the uniform he's wearing. What did Stern actually do?
Well, the important thing, I think the biggest thing was that he put the attention on the court. I mean, you remember when he got there was that infamous LA Times story that said 75% of the league was on drugs. The games were on tape delay, so even if you were an NBA fan, I remember watching finals games at 11:30 at night, if you wanted to watch them, because that was the only way you got to watch them. He instituted the salary cap, which allowed teams, all teams really, to be able to field competitive teams because the Lakers weren't spending 4 times as much on salary as everybody else. The main thing was that he put the emphasis on the game and on the floor, and let people see his players, see those players, do what they do, which is perform at incredibly high levels. So I think that was the first thing, and in addition to that, he really pushed the league's corporate sponsors to use players in advertisements. That was not normal when he did that. You didn't see black players selling shoes or selling soft drinks or selling hamburgers. That didn't happen. He was able to do that through his whatever force of personality, intimidation, threat to go somewhere else. Right. He was a negotiator, a businessman, as well as, an entertainment guy. But NBA players started being seen on commercials. That happened because of David Stern, and that was a huge sea change in terms of, to your point, people recognizing these star players in this sport, whereas in other sports they did not. They weren't given those types of opportunities.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download The Rich Eisen Show app.